Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Sadashi Srimad Shilabhayacharanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Santaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, chapter entitled The Killing of the Demon Trinavarta, text number 4. Please repeat. Shri Sukha Uvacha Kadachid Autanika Kautuka Aplavai Janmarkshayoge Samaveda Yoshitam Vaditra Gita Dvajamantra Vachakaihi Chakara Sunoho Abhishechanam Sati Shri Shuka Uvacha Shri Shuka Uvacha Kadachid authanika kautukaplave. Kadachid authanika kautukaplave. Janmarikshyoke samaveta yoshitam. Janmarikshyoke samaveta yoshitam. Vaditra Gita Dujamantra Vachakaish. Vaditra Gita Dujamantra Vachakaish. Chakara Shunorabhishechanam Sati. Chakara Shunorabhishechanam Sati. Shri Shuka Vacha. Kadachid Authanika Kautukaplave. Janmarikshayoge Samaveta Yoshitam. Vaditra Gita Dvijamantra Vachakaish. Chakara Shunorabhishechanam Sati. Mataji's. Sri Shukaha Vacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued to speak. Hare Krishna. Kadachit, at the time when Krishna was 3 months old, Autanika Kautuka Aplave. When Krishna was 3 or 4 months old and his body was developing, he attempted to turn around, and this pleasing occasion was observed with a festival and bathing ceremony. Janmarikshayoge. At the time, there was also a conjunction of the moon with the auspicious constellation Rohini. Samaveta. The ceremony was observed among the assembled women, a ceremony of mothers. Vaditra Gita, different varieties of music and singing. Vijamantra Vachakaihi, with chanting of Vedic hymns by qualified Brahmanas. Chakara, executed. Sunoho, of her son. Abhishechanam, the bathing ceremony. Sati, Mother Yashoda. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, when Mother Yashoda's baby was slanting his body to attempt to rise and turn around, this attempt was observed by a Vedic ceremony. In such a ceremony called Utthana, which is performed when a child is due to leave the house for the first time, the child is properly bathed. Just after Krishna turned 3 months old, Mother Yashoda celebrated this ceremony with other women of the neighborhood. On that day, there was a conjunction of the moon with the constellation Rohini. As the Brahmanas joined by chanting Vedic hymns and professional musicians also took part, this great ceremony was observed by Mother Yashoda. Purport. There is no question of overpopulation or of children's being a burden for their parents in Vedic society. Such a society is so well organized and people are so advanced in spiritual consciousness that childbirth is never regarded as a burden or a botheration. The more a child grows, the more his parents become jubilant, and the child's attempt to turn over are also a source of jubilation. Even before the child is born, when the mother is pregnant, many recommended ritualistic ceremonies are performed. For example, when the child has been within the womb for 3 months and for 7 months, there is a ceremony the mother observes by eating with neighboring children. This ceremony is called Swada Bhakshana. Similarly, before the birth of the child, there is Garbhadhana ceremony. In Vedic civilization, childbirth or pregnancy is never regarded as a burden, rather, it is a cause for jubilation. In contrast, people in modern civilization do not like pregnancy or childbirth, and when there is a child, they sometimes kill it. We can just consider how human society has fallen since the inauguration of the Kali Yuga. Although people still claim to be civilized, at the present moment there is actually no human civilization but only an assembly of two-legged animals. ओमज्ञातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिमित्कृपात्महं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवीं गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीशुक उवाच कदाचित् औठानिककौतुकाप्लवे जन्मऋक्षयोगे समवेतयोषितां वादितगीतद्विजमन्त्रवाचकैश्चकारशूनोरभिषेचनं सति. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, when Mother Yashoda's baby was slanting his body to attempt to rise and turn around, this attempt was observed by a Vedic ceremony. In such a ceremony called Utthana, which is performed when a child is due to leave the house for the first time, the child is properly bathed. Just after Krishna turned 3 months old, Mother Yashoda celebrated this ceremony with other women of the neighborhood. On that day, there was a conjunction of the moon with the constellation Rohini, as the Brahmanas joined by chanting Vedic hymns and professional musicians also took part. This great ceremony was observed by Mother Yashoda. A lot of samskaras, ceremonies observed in Vedic times. So it's a big list of ceremonies are there. So here we can see, yes, Krishna is trying to turn around, and that is also taken one festival. Any opportunity, Vaishnavas are intelligent. Uh, Festival means more music, more dance, more feast. Mm. So Vaishnavas are intelligent. You can see last class when we were discussing about death. We were discussing and so how every ritual has a meaning and things like that. So Vaishnavas, how they celebrate birth, they celebrate death also. It's not death, it's disappearance. When somebody die, there's a feast, adding to the more confusion for the public in general. And these people, when they die, also dance and eat feast, paneer sabji. What is this? So every opportunity there is festival. And Prabhupada said, uh, every day I can give you some celebration if you are all ready in this con. So that's Vaikunta. Every word is song, every step is like a dance. And now when singing and dancing are together, then you can see. So if word is like song and if step is like a dance, and when singing and dancing happens, how it will be, and when it is together, how more relishable it will be. So that is Vaikunta, that is spiritual world. So we have a lot of festivals in Sri Rangam. If you see, for example, almost 365 days, they have some 360 festivals. Every day some festival happens. Uh, so for us, when Janmashtami happens, it's a big festival. Mm. Somehow, the HODs, head of the department, sometimes when they don't have head, like myself, uh, so it appears to be a lot of tension. More than, it's for public, it looks nice celebration, but for devotees who are organizing 24 hours, it's a big headache, appears to be big tension. Uh, so, of course, devotees should be intelligent enough to manage things, but if they are not intelligent, then maybe difficult. So, nevertheless, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. These are the mother of devotion festivals, or the mother of devotion. It's a source of devotion. So, these festivals increase our bhakti. But the next line, if you see that shloka, what is the next line? So it says the meaning is that it's festival for those who respect them. So otherwise, for neophytes like me, maybe it's full of tension. Sometimes we feel other days, are better. Uh, so what for devotees? Yes, it's festival. Lots of opportunity for service, lots of opportunity for preaching, and that's a bliss. So it depends how we see the festival. And festival means a lot of chanting, a lot of reading, a lot of service, a lot of festivities, feast. So it's all bliss. Krishna Katha we are hearing now, 10th canto. It's full of bliss, nectarian. And especially when we hear from Srila Prabhupada, who is pure Vaishnava, pure devotee, very close associate of Krishna. And when he speaks about Supreme Personality of Godhead, so you can imagine how these purports are full of nectar. So Srila Prabhupada, when he translates these purports, you can see how much he is relishing Krishna's pastime. So I was just going through one purport. I would just like to read 4 lines from that purport. So these narrations are wonderfully enjoyable, and those who are fortunate are struck with wonder upon hearing of these extraordinary activities of the Lord. Although the less intelligent regard them as mythological because a dull brain cannot understand them, they are real facts. These narrations are actually so enjoyable and enlightening that Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami took pleasure in them, and other liberated persons following their footsteps become fully jubilant by hearing about the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. Uh, so this purport was just given to a translation which really didn't describe any pastime. It was just an introduction kind. But then already Srila Prabhupada is relishing the sweetness and the bliss, how devotees relish Krishna's subject matters. Uh, and while showing his relishment, simultaneously he preaches and he kicks the demons. Krishna, while saving devotees, how simultaneously he kicks the demons. So Prabhupada, following the footsteps of Krishna, while explaining the positivity, the happiness in relishing Krishna consciousness, so at the same time he kicks the demoniac tendency who don't take relishment in Krishna conscious subjects. Their relishment is cricket, news, politics, prajalpa, worldly matters. So Srila Prabhupada is amazing. And Krishna is also amazing. Krishna performs one act and so many, one stone, many mangoes. You can see in pastime of Putana. So many things he exhibited, one pastime, one act. He showed his mercy, how much merciful he is. And he protected his devotees. He killed the demon. And the demon was so huge, so he was almost like a hill. So Krishna was on top of the hill playing. And in that way, Krishna wanted to give darshan to all his devotees at once. So many devotees are there, and it's difficult every day, everyone to come and see. So Krishna wanted to take an opportunity by which he's in a very high position so that he can give darshan to so many, and he can also take see so many devotees at once. So otherwise you can see in this translation, Srila Prabhupada mentioned the child usually goes out of home after 3 months, and Krishna did it in 6 days. So he's not ready to wait for 3 months. It's too much. And what else? Killed the demon, gave her love of God, and established his power, showed that he is God. And just one act, you can see how many simultaneous achievements. And this pastime, you can see various acharyas giving various realizations, completely different extreme experiences, different realizations, different bhav, different emotions. And you can see Srila Prabhupada, how he gives his purports, and devotees who relish these purports. One pastime, so many things happening, and different purports, different enjoyment, different happiness. And these books, devotees take pleasure in distributing, discussing life after life, year after year. So one act, how many results? So Prabhupada is also like that. One line, but simultaneously he achieves many purposes. Shakatasura, he kicked the cart, he killed the demon, at the same time whatever else he wanted to achieve, which is to bring attention to himself. Krishna wanted to bring attention to himself. Mother Yashoda made her sleep and she was busy. No, I am the center. Nobody should be busy with anything else. So to bring everyone's attention to himself, so, and he's hungry, he needs milk. So he kicked, demon killed, and he achieved his purpose. Everything is simultaneous and in a sweet way. So this is beauty of Krishna consciousness. And devotees are taking relishment in these subject matters. So those who don't take relishment in these subject matters, that means they should understand. Those who don't read Bhagavatam every day, those who don't spend their time listening to Srila Prabhupada's lectures, that means they have relishment somewhere else. So it's not a very good sign. So it's full of festivals. So children, so in this purport, Srila Prabhupada again took opportunity to preach as a acharya. He takes every opportunity to preach Krishna consciousness. So that's his mood, to save the fallen conditioned soul. He is so pathetic, his compassion on the Kali Yuga Jivas. The 5 entities who are protected in normal time. Women, children, old people, brahmanas, cows. So in Kali Yuga, everything is opposite. The cows are slaughtered, women are raped, old people are thrown in the old age home, children are killed, and brahmanas, there is no brahmanas. So Kali Yuga, you can understand the pathetic situation. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to revive and give Krishna consciousness in this society. So children, so we can see in Kali Yuga, mothers are very busy in their uh, regular duties, sometimes to the extreme that they say, I don't want children after marriage. That I don't want children. Why? Because it's disturbing my career. So, and then they suffer later. We can see it's womanhood. We have discussed the subject matter so many times. So how for a woman to have children? So although externally, yes, it is difficult. We can see pregnancy, so we can theoretically describe it, but so one who has undergone the experience, they know it's like another rebirth. Almost you die and take birth. That much difficulty it is. And at that moment, we hear that a woman feels that that's all, no more child. It's enough because that much pain is severe. But then they understand, yes, more children is required, and then they are ready for it. It's a part of Vedic life, and it's the part of civilization. Srila Prabhupada explained how children are the source of happiness. A lot of samskaras. Samskaras is for purification. It's not simply begetting children. Cats and dogs also beget children, but these samskaras makes one dvija, makes one purifies the consciousness. And then the particular ceremony here explained is Swada Bhakshana. So I don't know, didn't find much reference for this, but maybe it's simply a translation for our festival, which we call it Valagapu or Seemantam. So we have those ceremonies when the pregnant woman on her 6th or 7th or 8th months, different societies, different sects of people do it a bit differently. So it's a ceremony for where the women is own bangles, especially with glass. Maybe they are very rich. They may have lots of gold, silver, diamonds, or whatever, but it's specifically a glass bangle. So there may be science behind everything. Definitely there is science, but many things are unknown. So they say that this sound is very nourishing to the mind of the pregnant woman and also for the child. The hearing tendency of the child, the ears start growing in that particular time, and this sound which comes from that glass bangle helps. So ultimately, everything is there. All festivities you can see when all women come together, and this feast, they make varieties of rice preparations: tamarind rice, lemon rice, curd rice, coconut rice. I don't know how many, some 7, 8, 9. Lots of varieties of foodstuffs. Everybody coming together, celebrating. Uh, so scientifically, if you see, yes, she has to eat for two entities. One is for herself and also the growing baby. So many people have so many experience. So, prior to pregnancy, everybody have some taste priorities. I like this, I don't like this. But during pregnancy, the priority changes, or sometimes whatever they didn't like, they start liking. So it's because child inside, is liking something. It needs even this taste. Actually, according to science, if you see, we get energy from food, what we eat, from water we drink, but even from the taste, there is energy. There is in Tamil, there is a tradition we call food as Arusuvai Unavu. Arusuvai means all six tastes. All six tastes are there: salt, sour, bitter, sweet, pungent, astringent. All six tastes should be included in every meal. So, because every taste has a different energy. You may say, how just taste will give you energy. These people who have sometimes getting low sugar, you can see one of our devotee in ashram. He comes to take sweets. He has jaggery or some sweets in stock. As soon as he feels low sugar, immediately he puts a sweet in his mouth. So otherwise, usually, what is our idea when we eat? Food has to digest, which takes 2-3 hours, and then we get energy. That's how it's understood, right? That's a science. Also, it's not false. Unless we eat, it goes inside. It has to digest, and then the whatever vitamins, minerals the body has to absorb, and then we get strength and nourishment, everything. Simply you keep in the mouth food and throw it away, will you get energy? May not be. But then the taste buds are there. So how come when they take sweet you get energy? Because the taste buds have some power. So immediately when the sweetness is touched, so it takes the power directly. So even from taste, a lot of energy you get. So I was told like that. So the doctor was telling that even if you simply chew the food nicely and throw it out, still you can survive. Some 40% of body's energy comes from taste, and taste is also important. Uh, Simple food is there, but it cannot be blunt, without taste. Taste is very important. Even if you eat nutritious food without taste, a taste again doesn't mean it's just the external taste. It has also a big science behind it. Say, for example, rice. So, how body feels and absorbs, that's how the taste is determined. So, the rice, for example, you may feel it has no taste, but actually, according to Ayurveda, it has what is it? Sweet, sweetness, something they say. Which taste? Some taste, some sweetness. Like sugar patients, they don't eat rice because it has a lot of. Anyway, I don't know. Some science is there. So here so why the varieties of food is offered? Because the child also inside needs and nourishment, but then the pregnant lady, you can see, she doesn't have desire to eat. Sometimes it's too difficult. It's a lot of difficulty. Sometimes they like to eat, sometimes they don't like to eat. It's all complicated. And I think they like to eat more of sour things, the mango, dry mango, I don't know, raw mango. Uh, so that helps. And the sixth taste, the doctor was telling, each taste has two organs. It's all science. Every taste there's 12 organs, and each taste is related to two organs. And if somebody has a desire for particular taste, desire not our mental desire, but real demand of body. Body when it needs some taste, it demands. So it's not the what you call when you see some snacks or junk food you get desire. It's not that kind of desire, but body's demand. So that particular organ is activated. So it seems liver is overworked during pregnancy, and the taste for liver is sourness. So they like to eat a lot of sour items. So this is what I heard. So idea is this: Prabhupada and the Purport is selling varieties of foodstuffs. So they eat. So because it's everything has a science. Everybody come together. Motivation class. Now they go to YouTube. I want child. I don't want child. It's too difficult. This is that. But everybody come together, motivate her, inspire her. You see, everything will be okay. We are there. So it's like that. A lot of reasons are there for every festival. Uh, so and what is this? Pumsavanam. In one of the Madhva I was speaking, they said that they also have a similar festival called Pumsavanam, and when they desire for a male child, there is a particular ritual in 6th or 7th month. Still, it is not fixed whether it's a male or female. So they give some item made in urad dal and curd. When it's mixed, and when she eats that, there's more probability that she gets male child. So like this, and it's not in a wrong sense that we don't want female or female is low, but traditionally family means at least one male child is expected for the lineage to continue, varisu. And then of course spiritually also for moksha and things like that. So we need a putra. And now we can see neither male nor female people don't want. There is surrogacy. We discussed also this in one of our recent classes. So they don't want to take up. They feel this as a burden. So and then there's so many reasons. A lot of science. for how you call this normal delivery. Cesarean is one thing and normal delivery is another thing. So these rituals and these ceremonies and the traditional women, they work hard when during their pregnancy. They're not lazy, and they get married in a very early age. So body is strong and healthy, and then they could undergo this how we call uh, normal delivery. So these rituals have a lot to do with physical health, mental health, and spiritual well-being of both the women and the child and overall society. So it's a big science we should understand. So unfortunately, modern women without all these things, they are suffering. There is one ayogi, uh, so-called yogi, who proclaims that due to overpopulation, his theory is, which Prabhupada so many times said it's a myth of overpopulation. So this ayogi, so he is advertising that the highest service in the society is that when a woman is capable of begetting a child but voluntarily refuses to do so is the highest service one can do to the society. And then he preaches like this so widely. He's not so far from Salem, 3 hours drive. So, and then you can see so many cinema stars following it, and then they propagate. This cine star, taking this Ayogi's instruction, have refused to carry a child voluntarily, and then that kind of propagation is happening. You can see it's all crazy. So Prabhupada so many times he said how this overpopulation myth is, overpopulation is a myth and there is no such theory. We can see traditionally people had 10 children, 12 children, 15 children, and they had no problem, they had no issues. So during Mahabharata time, we can see how many people died in Mahabharata. Krishna's family, you can see. Krishna had 16,108 queens, and everybody, with every queen, he had 10 sons and one daughter, and every son had similar replica as father, as son. So similar replica. And then you can see crores of people in Rasa dance, crores of people were dancing. So how it is possible? They didn't have any overpopulation theories. So everybody was happy. So why now you can see India is having some 140 crore population. China, I don't know how much, 135. So I think we are top. We are very nicely competing in Olympics, and whole world has 800 crores of population. So why there is such theory? Because everybody wants to come and live in the city. They don't want to live in villages. And when you come and live in a small tract of land, 100 families, 200 families in a skyscraper, they want to live. There is no proper ventilation, no proper drainage system, there is no proper food, everything is polluted. So why everybody has to come to city? Everybody could live. Prabhupada said so much of land is unused. So much of cultivation could happen, but nobody is cultivating. So therefore, there is hundreds of reasons you can give to defeat this overpopulation theory. Srila Prabhupada said there are hundreds and thousands of elephants in the jungle. Which government is feeding them? Nobody is feeding them. Millions of ants are there, millions of elephants are there, and Krishna is taking care. So this polygamy was there, which is also, Prabhupada said that usually the female population is more than the male population. So for a natural balance, there was polygamy, that one male can marry few females. And of course, it's not just for sex. There is all rules to be followed. He has to nourish them, protect them physically, materially, and spiritually. He should be capable of. So like this, so many things are there. People say sex is natural. Why we have to stop? So if sex is natural, the natural consequence of sex is to have children. So if you say sex is natural and I can have sex, then you should also have oblige, and allow the natural consequences, which is to beget a child. So why you have to artificially stop it? So, and then this, you can see Chinese government, They did great havoc by artificially manipulating this male-female ratio. Mm. And then initially they were restricting children's, only one child. Then there is you'll get all subsidies from government, things like that. But then after many years, they realized the male-female ratio is going out of balance. Then people are not getting married, and so many problems. And now they say you should have more children, and if you don't have more children, you will not get government subsidy. All crazy. If you allow things to naturally flow, there will be no problem. Uh, Unless we use our AI or NI, whatever you called. Uh, if we just allow things to happen naturally, all ecological system, everything is so balanced. Everything works so nicely. Unless we artificially concoct some plan, some system, Vedas delineate everything so clearly. So we can see during COVID time when there was a lockdown, so how Mother Nature was so pure. Modi spent crores and crores of rupees to purify Mother Ganges. But then when there was lockdown for a month, they said Ganges was so pure, which couldn't achieved with crores and crores of investment. And the villages, which was 100 kilometers away from Himalayas, so they were just telling that some 40-50 years before they used to see Himalayas from their village. But due to pollution, they couldn't see Himalayas last 30-40 years. So during COVID time, they start seeing Himalayas again. So whatever, if you allow nature in her own way, she will purify herself. We say in the name of good, I will do something. And Shastras and Mother Nature showed us, listen, you don't do anything. Everything will be automatically good. Just simply shut your mouth, shut your ideas, shut your AI, and sit in your home and do nothing. Everything will work nicely. So this is what we learn from all these things. Simply concocting so many ideas, so many things. It's all utter stupidity. People have to simply sit and read Bhagavatam, then everything will be okay. So, and then Shastras very clearly say, don't become father if you cannot liberate a person. This natural contraceptive system, which is also in Vedas. If somebody is, what is a natural contraceptive system? Control the senses. Very simple. Not other means of artificial contraceptives. If there is no, if there is idea of control population, yes, it is there. But control your mind. If you cannot able to protect your children, if you cannot protect your spiritually motivate your family, so then you control your senses. So there should be Krishna conscious. Government should support this system, not distributing, other alternative free contraceptive methods, sex education and this and that. So this is no use. You preach Krishna consciousness, and there will be, automatic control in case if you need it. So we can see from chapters of Prithu Maharaj, from his life, we can understand when there is proper leader, proper praja, then Mother Nature supplies everything in abundant. When there is sinful people ruling, sinful people are in the world, so Mother Nature will not supply. We call Father God. So that means Mother Nature. So there was a tsunami many years ago. So there was a poet, Tamil cinema poet. So he wrote a poet saying, Mother Nature, why you are cruel? So people have idea that nature is addressed as Mother, Iyarkai, Annai, Mother Nature. So when we say Mother, obviously there should be Father. So why we don't understand this? Mother cannot beget children by herself. Father and mother, then you can have children. So Father God, it's very simple logic. So and then if we don't listen to Father, what happens in the family? Mother doesn't give you food. Expected, hopefully. So you don't listen to Father, Mother doesn't feed you. Mother will beat you. You listen to Father, then I'll feed you. Very simple. So you don't listen to Krishna, then Mother Nature will not supply. It's a very simple logic. So simply Krishna consciousness is a solution for all these problems. And then There are a lot of political reasons. Politicians manipulate all this production of grains and this and that, artificially increase the price, and so many strange things they do. And in their strange attempts, there is starvation, there is hike in all cost, and then even to have one child, it becomes very burden. Uh, Mother and father have to work to maintain the child, although they do for the child, but ultimately the real well-being is not done. Is to give them spiritual nourishment. Mother is busy earning money to protect the child, but then their spiritual values, neither they have time to inculcate, nor they have time and patience and knowledge to inculcate it to their children. So it's a big cycle. Everybody is a part of this problem. So only hope is Srila Prabhupada books. So we have to distribute these books, preach this message, and save the society. So otherwise, all these are big signs. It's all festivities, and there is simply bliss. So if that is not done, so it's everything is suffering. Even child, which is a source of happiness, is also a source of burdenism. It's completely, opposite what is perceived in Kali Yuga. It's a very fallen age, as Prabhupada said. It's only an assembly of two-legged animals. There is no more human civilization. Mothers killing child, and they call it tissue removal. So it's a very pathetic situation. And a lot of discussions happening in Supreme Court, until which time we can allow mother to decide whether to kill the child or not to kill the child. All these crazy things are happening. So be happy that we are here. Our mother didn't kill us. So we don't know whether next time we'll be here. So better let's take up Krishna consciousness. We are alive, and we don't know what is the future. So take it seriously ourselves and try to share this knowledge with others, so that everybody can be saved. Such an amazing purpose. You can see how Prabhupada, every opportunity he preaches, like Krishna, every opportunity, simultaneous, so many acts, saving devotees, killing demons, relishing happiness, giving bliss to devotees. So Srila Prabhupada is also amazing. So we should take pleasure in these subject matters. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Any questions, comments, mistakes?
Very nice class, Prabhu. It's significant that all these problems are occurring. They're occurring because there's no Vedic culture, and because there's no Vedic culture, they don't know what to do and what not to do. So therefore, they've manufactured so many different methods of trying to make for a peaceful and productive society, but they're getting quite the opposite. The best example is the way they treat women. They impose artificial standards on womanhood, and they artificially inflate the position of women. And the result is that there's so much Vana Sankara and so much difficulty for the woman, and the children are not protected. All that, it's all due to the lack of Vedic culture. The demons exploiting all the women under the guise of giving them freedom. They're just exploiting them, and then they're all suffering because of it. Women are suffering, the children are suffering.
Just to add, in all this you are explaining about all these functions, which is to invoke auspiciousness for the child and for the mother. And also another important aspect in all these functions, there's a lot of chanting of the Vedic mantras, depending on different sampradayas and other things. They please the Lord, they worship the Lord, and then of course in our Hare Krishna movement we chant Hare Krishna. So also that's the important aspect. And also you seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas and others. So it's every opportunity to please the Lord and devotees and like that. So it's very auspicious for the child and all the good samskaras the children get. So I just want to add that.
Sorry, I forgot Krishna.
And one other thing at the beginning, we were speaking about how Prabhupada was so absorbed. He was relishing all the purports and like that. I just remember one anecdote. There was one in Mayapur. There was one GBC meeting. So all the GBCs and everybody was there. Prabhupada was discussing so many issues and like that. Just in the middle of the discussion, Srila Prabhupada, there was a pause. There was a silence for some time. Prabhupada asked, "Are you able to hear?" Srila Prabhupada was asking the devotees. So everybody was a little bit stuck. What was going on? So Prabhupada was hearing the kirtan that was coming in the Mayapur temple hall. So a nice kirtan was going on. Prabhupada was relishing that in the middle of everything that is happening. So that was just to show that how Krishna conscious is, always reminding that Krishna is in the center and like that. Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.